Well, back here with the bandsaw project. Haven't really done a whole lot. I did get these boards mounted down. Got the motor mounted. It does work. I have cut just a few little scraps and stuff with it. Got the belt on over here. But it does work. The only problem is this motor. I don't know if it's just getting worn out or what, but when you first turn it on, it kind of stalls, doesn't want to start turning. If you, with the blade cover off here, if you kind of give it a little one of these, it'll take off and run just fine, and doesn't nothing affects it. I mean, cutting doesn't, if it's under a load, it doesn't slow down or belt slip or anything like that. So I don't know if it's just maybe the motor's worn a little bit, armature. I don't know. I was gonna maybe pull the back cover off that motor. I know there's been dust and all kinds of stuff coming out of the motor, so that may affect it. Maybe just a good cleaning will help, but haven't had a chance to do that yet. I did mount a brush on the lower wheel, just old toothbrush. It heated up, bent, drilled a hole in, but just keeps all the chips off the tire there. You can kind of see the little bit of wear from the minute that I ran it without the brush on there. That sawdust just sticks to that, and then the belt presses it in and wears on that tire. So hopefully this brush will, I mean, you can see how it is right now. There's no dust on it. So I've seen on people online say that one old toothbrush will last them a couple years, and for as rarely as I use this or plan on using this, it'll probably last me a lifetime. Alright, on with the bandsaw project. This motor worked, plugged it in and started turning once you got the belt hooked up. I guess just the load of having the belt on it, it didn't want to start turning right away. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't, kind of struggle. If you kind of helped it along, it would start going and run fine. Then I had a buddy suggest to check the capacitor, because this is it has the capacitor start, which provides develops 1.5 horsepower, just that charge that capacitor holds. So I got it all apart, and this is the capacitor that I pulled out of it. It's a 210 to 260 microfarad, 110 volt, 60 hertz capacitor, and one of the terminals was busted off of it. The terminal was still plugged into the wire, but it wasn't hooked to the capacitor anymore. So I got a new capacitor today. Put that in. How this works is, you see here on the armature of the motor, as it starts turning, these weights will pull this thing down. When it's up, it will push on this, and there is this little pad right down here, and it makes contact. So when it's up, it's making contact with that. When this thing is up in its normal position, it's making contact, which sends power through this wire over to the capacitor, charges the capacitor, sends it back. So that's how it does it. And as soon as this motor starts turning fast enough, these weights will fly out like so. It's kind of hard to do, but it goes down where it bypasses the capacitor. So it's pretty cool. First time I've had one of these motors apart. It's still pretty dirty. Just a lot of sawdust and stuff in there. I haven't fired up my air compressor to get it all blown out, but I don't think I'm going to, because it'll just get more in there. The other thing that I did is the bearings. They were pretty shot. This one barely turns. It's real tough to turn. This one turns, but is pretty loose. So I got some new bearings that I'm going to put in there, get this motor back together, and maybe get a video of it running and cutting something. Alright guys, I got the motor mounted back to the frame here. Got a little piece of scrap lumber here I'm going to cut. But I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing on. It fires right up. Didn't do that before. Huh. That's interesting. Turn that off. Well, this is interesting. I was just using it, blew a breaker, went and reset the breaker, tried it again, just turned the motor on just to run it with no load on it or anything. And then something popped in the motor and started smoking. It smells really bad in here right now. I don't know if maybe that capacitor blew up. I don't know. But I'm going to let everything cool down a little bit. I'll probably get this motor off of here. I don't know if it's even warm. Yeah, it's a little warm, but nothing too bad. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Smoke started rolling out, made like a popping noise, and started smoking. So the adventure continues, I guess. All right, I'm back. Look at all this sawdust. Got the motor straightened out. I don't know. It blew a capacitor. I don't know what I did wrong, but I took it to a local guy that repairs electric motors, and he replaced the capacitor, checked all the wiring, said it all looked good, and charged me $10. So it was a heck of a deal. But it works great now. I've been cutting on some random stuff. Been grabbing logs out of my mom's wood pile. Got some hickory. I believe this is black walnut. And I'm not sure what this is, but I went to Lowe's and made a little fence. Got some just poplar. Made a fence. I can clamp it down to the table. Get some even thickness. These were all done with that. Cuts are a little wavy, but I think I need to maybe see if there's a way to tension that blade a little tighter, adjust my guide blocks a little better, and it'll cut a lot straighter. I did buy a new blade, 2 new blades actually. This one's a 4 TPI, and I bought a 1/8 inch wide, like 15 TPI for doing real tight radius stuff. But let me do just a quick cut, show you how this thing works. The 4 TPI does cut pretty quick. Here we go. There it is. Free bandsaw. Traded a bicycle. Got about $50 in it. Not bad, considering there's 2 brand new blades. Thanks for watching.